Obviously, great win, great team win by our guys. So happy for our seniors that have put in the blood, sweat, and tears for a long time, a lot of years here. And after the big win down at Texas Tech, we were in the locker room and we challenged all the underclassmen, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, to lay it on the line today for our seniors because of what they've meant to our program. And without question, we played an excellent football game. Was it perfect? No, but the conditions weren't perfect either. And I told the guys, you can't control the conditions. You just got to fight through it and play through the conditions. And it was obviously very, very windy out there. It affected a lot of plays. It affected a lot of balls. But to get out to the fast start that we did and Josh to have the big return again, it was a great start. Obviously, Iowa State's an exceptional football team with a great offense. They end up tying it up. And coming in at halftime, I just said, guys, we just got to be able to make some more plays. We just weren't making enough plays, and if we make plays, we're going to be fine. And then coming out in the third quarter, we turned the ball over twice in a row, and we're really fortunate to only give up 3. And so we're down 17-14, but I could sense still a lot of life on our sideline. We just needed to make a play, and then Skylar makes a big throw to Sebastian and kind of get us into the field position. And then, hats off to our offensive line. We were able to rush the football, I think, for about 230 yards against an exceptional defense and be able to punch a few of those in there. And so great team win. I told the guys in the locker room, don't ever underestimate the power of belief and the power of love. Those guys believe in each other. They love each other. And when you have those two things going, you got a great chance to be successful.
Especially considering the short fields they had to deal with. How good was the defense today?
Defense was dynamite. I think I saw on this thing they were 1 of 13 on third down. And I liked Coach Hayes' plan coming into it. I thought our coverage was really good. We were sloppy in the first half tackling, but it never really hurt us that bad. And then I thought the defensive line really got after them all day.
Big picture, now that the regular season is over, what would you say you're most proud of when you reevaluate everything this team did?
Well, I haven't. That's a good question, but I coming fresh off of a locker room celebration, I'm there's nothing I'm not proud of. I mean, there's, our backs were against the wall before the season started. Not very many people thought an awful lot of this football team, except for the guys in the room. And then we were 3-2, and I told them to block the outside noise out. Because everybody was saying, we're not a very good football team. And all of a sudden we win 3 more games in a row. And I said, block out the outside noise. They're going to tell you how great you are now. And we're 6-2, lose 2 more games. And I said, block out the noise. It's just us in our room. Let's just focus on the guys that you're with and your brothers on a daily basis. And, I had belief in these guys. They had belief in each other. They just had to believe in themselves. And, so excited for this senior class that embraced me and embraced our staff.
I'm not sure Jacardi Wright had played since the Bowling Green game. Maybe just how much did he instill confidence in you this week and then reward you today?
Well, he was banged up for about 6 weeks after that game. He had a high ankle sprain, so he couldn't have played, or he was kind of in and out, and he kept re-aggravating that. So we really kind of put him on the shelf for almost 2 months. But then when he got healthy, 2 things. One, I want to find out what Jacardier is, and he has gotten better. We were going to play him in either the Texas Tech game or in this game, and for whatever reason, it maybe just didn't fit in the Texas Tech game. So we said we're going to get him into the game early, get him a couple of carries, and then see how he does. And obviously had a big run, had a couple of run-through tackles where he was a powerful kid, and that's what we thought when we recruited him. And so I'm excited because I know he has at least one more game left, and that's what we have. So he'll play in the bowl game too.
In the fourth quarter, your running game really kind of took over the tempo of the game. How important was that running game, not just in terms of yardage, but in the impact on the contest?
It was really important, and we were able to run the option again. They were stacking a lot of guys inside, and we noticed that we could get the edge a little bit against them, a la what Jacardier did, as well as what Skylar did on some speed option, and to be able to move the chains. We were able to be effective on third down. We were 7 of 14. We were able to be effective so that allowed us to stay on the field, probably got him a little bit wore down when you think of we were out there 34 minutes in time of possession. And I just think from the fact of we're running inside, we're running outside. We're using the jet game. We're using the quarterback run. All those things. When Mess has all those things at his disposal, and we're gaining yards on all of them, then we're pretty tough to beat.
Gosh, what else can you say about Joshua Youngblood and what he's been able to do?
Pretty special talent, and I knew that when we recruited him, that he was a difference maker. And guy's really grown up too. And the stage is not too big for Josh, and he proves that week in and week out. And I'm excited because he's just a true freshman that hasn't had the ability to go through a developmental lift or get bigger and stronger like I know he's going to in the offseason. But I think it also shows the young people that when you come into a program, if you put the work in, put the time in, and learn the playbook and stuff, you can help us.
The talk will obviously be in special teams about Josh's kick return, but how clutch was the field goal by Blake kind of into the wind right there and tying it up?
Yeah, because we couldn't tell. I mean, the wind I thought was more blowing at our sideline as much it was helping or hurting. And we thought if we could get to the 25, he could make it. And it was as good a kick as I'd seen him hit, and he hit it flush. Probably started out 4 to 6 feet right upright, and then came back in with the wind. That was a critical play to be able to get that 3 points there. And then, obviously the icing one to get us up 10. I thought Blake has had a phenomenal year and bounced back after a miss that he was disappointed in the week before.
In your opening statement, you touched on the back-to-back possessions where you guys held them after Skylar's the fumble and the interception.
Yep.
Just how big was that? You held them only 3 points after 2 turnovers by you.
Well, it was huge, and our defense was playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, we were going out there, and there was a number of short fields, but they were playing really with a ton of confidence, knowing that with the wind, it was just tough. It was tough sledding to throw the football out there. I mean, there were some balls that were making some curves and moves in the air, and we just felt we were getting pressure on the quarterback. And granted, they dropped some balls, but I think we dropped some balls too, and that's going to happen when the wind's that blowing as hard as it was. And I just think our defense was playing with a lot of confidence. And as we talked early and mid-season, it's a tough league to play defense in, but each week I could see steady improvement with our defensive guys.
Without the injury that you mentioned to Jacardier, could you have seen him be part of some game plans earlier in the season?
Potentially. It all depends. When you have 2 senior guys like James and Jordan, and then with what Harry's done, we always wanted to find out about him, but I don't think we wanted to waste his whole year. And, on top of that, that was a healthy Jordan Brown, which we hadn't seen since Oklahoma. And James was really nicked up today. Malik didn't play. Joaquin didn't play. So Jordan had to show up, and he did big time.
And you limit Purdy to 185, and they get 1/3 of that on the slant. How key was it to keep him in check?
He's a great player, and I told Matt before the game that what I thought of Brock and what a competitor he is and what a great player he is, and he said the same thing about Skylar. And we both know we have exceptional quarterbacks, and they're both winners. They're both great competitors, and have nothing but the highest praise for Brock Purdy.
Devin Anktel averaged 46.8 yards per punt with 4 punts. How impressive was that, considering how the wind was swirling all game?
Yeah, especially since he averaged 46 yards and really missed one early in the game. So if you take that one, he probably averaged in mid-50s. But our kicking game had to be critical today for our success, and I thought Nick McClellan did a great job with kickoffs. Obviously, Devin punting the ball, and then Blake with the field goals, the kick return. But even the simple things, the snaps and holds, that's not easy to do, and give Devin Anktel credit, and give Randon and Wes credit, because they were on point with their snaps.
Speaking of health, is James, did he get banged up a little bit in the game?
He did. I don't even know what that was, but he was banged up. But Jordan was healthy. Jacardier was doing some things. Harry came in, and I got to give Harry Trotter a shout out, because he blocked unbelievably well and cut guys down all day long. And there's a team guy. There's a guy that's playing for the name on the front of the jersey. So pleased with Harry Trotter. He's a great team player.
Did you go into the game thinking you'd have one set plan on dealing with the wind, or did that change quarter by quarter?
It changed possession by possession, because we just kept looking around saying, which way is it going? We knew it was going to be windy. that probably enabled us to play a little bit more man coverage on defense because there just wasn't a whole lot of deep over-the-top throws. But it was obviously something that was in the back of our minds all the time. Punting the ball late, when we were worried about the one that hit D-Pat. What do you tell D-Pat? I mean, the ball was kicked 18 yards or something, and Phillip does a great job of getting on that. That was a big, big play by Phillip Brooks, and it was just so difficult in the kicking game today.
The special teams even surpassed what you expected they might be by the end of this year?
Without a doubt, because we're using the kick return and punt return that have been so successful here at Kansas State, but we're using the punt and kickoff of things that I've done in the past. And so trying to mesh those things, credit to all the guys that are involved in special teams, all the coaches and analysts that we have involved in special teams. And then you still just got to credit the players, because our players go out and execute. And every time we have a chance to return a kickoff, you see Brock Monty, you see Ross Elder, you see the guys that are saying, hey, we're going to make a big play. And they have a lot of confidence on that team.
I'm not trying to look past this one, but how excited are you to have a chance to work with these guys now for another 3 weeks, a month coming off this season?
Really excited. We obviously hit the road recruiting as coaches. They'll work with Coach Dawson throughout the week, and then on the weekends we'll get back together until we find out what the plan is as far as who we're playing and where we're going. But for us, you have 27 seniors that need some rest, that don't need to practice a ton, but we have all these freshmen, sophomores that we need to give a great look to and focus on those guys and get these extra practices and time to develop those guys.
I know that we had started the week asking about Malik and Walter. Just how close were they at all to being able to play?
Walt was not close. And I would assume he'd be ready when we play, whenever it is in December. Malik, we thought maybe could go. We thought Joaquin maybe could go. I think part of that was the weather too. It's hard to get warmed up and loose. And so I've got a lot of confidence in Sebastian. And obviously with Phillip making plays and Landry and Dalton and Josh. And then with the wind the way it was, we knew it was going to be a game where we'd have to rush the football.
It seems like only a couple of weeks ago we were in Frisco watching you play your final game at North Dakota State.
It's gone by pretty doggone fast, hasn't it?
It really has. And now K-State picked ninth in the Big 12, has the opportunity to finish third in the league. You're the first coach in K-State history to finish with 8 wins in your first season.
You're the stats guy. I don't know any of this stuff.
Well, what has this ride been like for you?
It's been an unbelievable ride and an unbelievable ride for all of us. And you're never not going to hear me say me. Unbelievable ride for all of us as a staff. And once again, my hat goes off to our seniors, because they're the ones that had to embrace us. They're the ones that had the disruption 4 years, 5 years into their time, that they get a new staff and a new coach. We gave them everything we had. We poured our heart and soul into those kids, and they responded. And every one of those seniors, when they ran down there, shook their hand, gave them a hug, told them how much I loved them. They told me how much they love me and appreciated what we have done together. And so that was just a cool experience. And I'll reflect it in time, but probably it's going to be some time too.
We got a last question here. All right. Excuse me. So besides Ryan Day at Ohio State, out of all the first-year head coaches in the Power 5, you seem like to have the most success. Does that speak volumes of the foundation and the culture that you're establishing here in Manhattan? Yeah,
we're trying. I mean, there's been some tough times now, guys, and you guys know that. We've been a little bit of a roller coaster, but I always told you guys we'd continue to get better, and the guys would continue to buy in and learn more and take more ownership and get more invested in the program, and they've done that. So let's credit where credit is due, and that's with the players and the assistant coaches.